Hello, hello. Hi, guys. How are you? So excited today. I have some really cool stuff going on. But what I want to talk about today is what is it how do you step into the thing that is calling you? How do you start moving in the direction of your dreams, your vision, the things that really light you up? I just got done with an amazing interview for my series with my friend Kimberly Baker, and she actually does this with women. So she actually teaches them how to start listening to, she calls it, I call it a spark. I call it like the little thing, the little burning light that's kind of always there. It's a tug, it's a pull, it's the question that's constantly having you ask yourself, what if, or I really want that. It's desire, right? It's desire. I remember reading a Deepak Chopra book. I think it was his, The Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire. And there's things that are put on our heart. There are wants and desires. And I believe, my belief now at this point where I am in my life, 48 years old, I believe that those desires are usually an indication of where we should be putting our focus. Now, I'm not talking about like desiring chocolate cake. I'm not talking about desiring a human being or sex or, right? I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about when you're sitting with yourself and you're really asking yourself, man, I wish I could, or what would it be like if, right? It could be making $1 million. It could be having the job that you really want. It could be having the family and the relationship and the children, and you get to decide what that is. I think one of the things that spoke to me most and was such like oh my gosh, like kind of aha moment with my interview with Kimberly was she said, she goes, I tell my clients this, I have no answers for you. And she goes, and they're usually really shocked. She says, I have no answers for you. You have the answers. So what would it look like if you just started listening to the tiny little quiet voice? I say it's tiny and quiet because usually the voice that's really loud is the you suck, you're not good enough, you don't have enough education, you don't know enough people, you look at how many times you fail. That's usually the voice that is really loud that we listen to, that we think that's actually us. You are actually the little voice. So you are actually the voice that's like, what if? What if I could? What if I had? What if I was able to? That's who you really are. That spark, that little tiny flame, that little fire in you. Kids have it. They express it all the time. It comes, usually expressing it is a very joyful thing. It's when we become old crotchety, limited adults that we stop listening to it. And which is why I say it might be a whisper. I mean, you might think it's not even there. Trust me, it's there. It's in every single one of us. So what would it look like to do what you're meant to do? To say what you're supposed to say in a profound way. What would it look like for you to step in and use your voice in the way that God intended you to? God put on your heart for you to be, each one of us has these amazing, unique gifts. So what would it look like? Now, we can dream and we can vision. And honestly, so many of the women I talk to and work with, and so many people, and tell me if you can relate to this, we don't even allow ourselves to vision or dream about what we desire, because we've had so many failures or heartbreaks or disappointments that we say it's safer for us to just go this route. I mean, it's safer for us to not think about all the things that we want, not think about this big grand life that we want to live. And for me, I say big grand life. What I mean by that isn't like you're out on, doing amazing, like doing like, these things where it's impacting millions of people, but you're just having an impact. And the impact could be on your children. The impact could be on your mom and dad. The impact could be in your job. So one of the things that my friend Kimberly said which I love, is we have this knowing there, it's in us. It will never go away. And we were in complete alignment with this. We have this desire in our heart to be who we actually are, and to have that be received, and to have that be, communicated and validated and accepted out in the world. And what would open up for you if you actually could step in to that? What would actually be possible for you if you said, what if it is possible? Like, what would be possible as a result of you saying, what if? What would be possible as a result of you stepping in, saying, you know what, and sharing it with one person? I've always wanted to. I have this secret desire. I will tell you right now, I'm going to share something with you. I have one of the speakers on my series is an empowerment coach for women. And she actually had a secret desire to do stand-up comedy. I have a secret desire to do stand-up comedy. And it will probably be something that I do at some point in my life. And I know that my voice makes a difference. I know that when I'm not using my voice, someone out there is impacted in a negative way. If I don't say the things that I see and feel and experience and pull people into their greatness, somebody's going to hurt because of that. Someone's not going to have a conversation with their dad, and then their dad's going to die, and they're going to feel the angst of that their entire life. I know this. So if we were to look at, like, what's the impact of me not stepping in? What's the impact if I were to, if I am the pebble in the pond, and the ripples that go out are the people whose lives I could impact? If I don't drop myself into that pond of possibility, if I don't do that, who am I not impacting? What lives are not being up-leveled? What lives are not being, saved? And I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm just saying, really, like, someone once shared with me, three people at three separate times in my life shared with me the Landmark Forum. And the first time, have you ever heard of the Landmark Forum? And I said, no. What is it? Well, it's this thing, right? It's this program. The next person, completely unrelated, 6 months later, said, have you ever heard of the Landmark Forum? I was like, yeah, someone did tell me. You should really check it out. Ignored it. The third person who finally told me about it said, have you ever heard about the Landmark Forum? I said, yes. You're like the third person who's told me this. And he said, you need to do it. Like, he just literally took a stand for me, and he said, you need to do it. I did it. And it literally, my life was going this way, and it had me go this way in this new, and actually probably not new, true direction. It trued me up. It allowed me to get out of my own way. It allowed me to find my voice. It allowed me to step into who I am. And that was the start of a journey. And that was at 32 years old. Now, that there is something to be, there's people in your life who, this is what I believe. There are people in your life who are nudging you. I am one of them. I am not a talking head on your Facebook screen. Like, I'm not just a person over here being like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, this is literally a message coming to you for a reason. This is a message coming to you because you're meant for something more. You're meant for something more than you're doing. We are in this drift of negativity and blame and oppression. I mean, the shit that we do to each other as human beings is horrific. And we don't have to do those things if we're each living our truth, if we're each really expressing ourselves in a way that is unique to us and is what we're here to express. So getting out of your own way really is the first step to stepping into what you're meant to be doing. You have to be able to, the thing that's driving the people who've not done courses like the Landmark Forum or transformational type courses, leadership courses, Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power from Within, right? That whole thing. If you're not doing that, you're living in this crappy mindset of not enough, I can't, it's hard, you don't understand, victim mentality. Nothing significant, nothing impactful, nothing purposeful is produced in that mindset, in that mentality. I love you, Journey Joe. So you have to get yourself out of your own way. And that's weird because you don't even know that you're in your own way, but you are. So if you have negative thoughts that run through your mind all the time, which as human being that really is, oh, what's up, Sarah? That really actually is the normal. I believe that I believe that about 90%, and it's probably actually a little bit more, it's probably more than that, 90% of the thoughts that run through our mind, like if you just start to watch them, they're negative. Watch them. Like there are very few people on the planet. And I don't, I'm not saying this to be dramatic, but I'm like, it takes something to choose the positive thoughts. It takes something. It takes a level of consciousness, a level of awake to choose the positive thoughts, to choose possibility. Possibility is not our default. Our default is fear, blame, victim, safety. That's our default. So you have to be able to get yourself out of your own way. For me, the most impactful thing has been personal development in a group, not therapy on a couch. If it works for you, great. Way too fucking slow for me. Took me a year to learn like 2 things. A year of therapy. I was like, oh God, this is excruciating. An hour a week. Not like, again, no judgment, but for me, wasn't impactful enough. Sitting in a room for 3 days, discovering that I have a crappy mindset because of a filter of how I look at the world. And that filter really literally impacts every decision I make or don't make. That means something. That there's something there. There's something to that. And it's been, Sarah, way too slow. And I'm not saying there's not a place and a time for therapy. I just think the place and the time for actually producing results in a massive way is group programs like the Landmark Forum, like Tony Robbins, like, Hardcore Leadership, LifeSpring, like those programs where you literally in a room with a trainer for days on end, you get to start to see a new context. Those are hands down, the thing that impacted my life trajectory, going here, trued up to where I'm really supposed to be going, was the Landmark Forum. I did loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of that program. Loads of it. It had a massive, I credit my business to it. I credit my marriage to it, my relationship sustaining, my marriage sustaining to it. And then everything that's come from that, my kids, right? So yes, impactful. So getting out of your own way, however that looks, but really realizing that the things that go through your mind are usually designed to keep you small and safe, to keep you judging, to keep you fearful, to keep you separate from people, not to have you live full out, exposed, vulnerable, joyous. That's just not that. That's the work. So that's the work. Making a commitment to it, making a commitment. Just sit with yourself for a minute and just say, if I had a magic wand and I could have anything, what would I want? What do I desire? What would I want? Not within the constraints of reality. Like really, just dream. Dream. You don't have to ask kids to dream. They're dreaming all the time until they turn about 8, 9, 10. And then they're like, oh, but like little kids, they're dreaming and imagining and creating all the time. All the time. No limits, no judgments, no filters. And then life happens and they get scared and then they shut down and then they end up just doing that over and over and over. Right? So change the dynamic, change the trajectory, change the conversation. And that just takes something. Trust me, it does. And it's worth it. I have family members telling me, how are you so okay with your dad's death? How are you so not affected by it? I said, I'm affected by it. I was also complete with my dad. So complete, nothing left unsaid, nothing between us, nothing that he didn't know before he died or I didn't know before he died. Do I want more time with him? Absolutely. Do I miss hearing his voice? That's the worst thing. That's the worst part because my dad and my lifeline to my dad was the phone. And so, yes, but I was able to repair my relationship with my dad out of the Landmark Forum. And this is not a promotion for the Landmark Forum. I'm just saying, get off your fucking ass. Like, really ask yourself what you want. And the thing that you want is there for a reason. The thing that you want is there for a reason. Know that the thing that's keeping you from that is you. So what do? Go put yourself through something that's going to have transformational qualities, where you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know what I didn't know. Oh my gosh, I couldn't see it before. We can't see our own crap. So it really is beneficial for us to sit with other people and have them see our crap and be able to receive that and take that and know that that's not you. Your crap isn't you. Your crap is all the bullshit you put on top of who you really are to not get hurt and to be safe and right, to not get your heart broken. So stepping into what you're meant to be doing comes like the things that you have to do is you have to take yourself on. You have to know that the software that's running right now, not working. Whatever you've got, it's based on the mindset that you currently have. If you want something else, you've got to change the software. You got to change the mindset. For me, personal development programs, Landmark Forum, the most impactful. Hardcore leadership, second most impactful. It came from an exceptionally loving, positive, emotional place. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So have I created more questions for you? And if I have, pop them into the chat. Definitely get yourself out of your own way. Put yourself in a group program. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Know that the software, the mentality, the mindset, the belief system that is currently operating has gotten you where you are. So if where you are is not where you want to be, you need to transform the mindset. You need to have a software upgrade. And personal development is the only way that I know that has proven to me that has actually allowed me to step in. And then have accountability. Again, group programs are great for accountability. If not that, hire a coach to hold you accountable. Coaches see through bullshit because they're not attached to it like you are. You have to have a coach to get you to the next level. All right. Peace out. If you have not registered yet for Shine Your Awesome, I had to change the name. From Own Your Awesome to Shine Your Awesome, and it's all good. If you have not registered yet, register. I'm putting the link in the comments right here. It's for powerhouse women who are ready to up level, who want to be using their voice, who want to be doing, amazing things in the world and they feel stuck and stopped. This is literally going to be your launching pad. If you want results, take a new action. All right. Love you. Peace out. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.